What's going on, everyone? When the Lakers signed Lonnie Walker with the taxpayer mid-level exception, many of us were shocked. We were surprised. We didn't even know that he was in the wheelhouse for the Lakers to obtain. And it was a great signing. Many people still question, the taxpayer mid-level. Why did you use it on Lonnie Walker? But who else were they going to use it on? And this guy, he's a 23-year-old, 6'4" guard with a 6'10" wingspan. So he has the length, the size to be good. He was solid for the San Antonio Spurs, had some big games. He averaged last year 12 points, 2.6 rebounds, 2.2 assists, and had a 12.41 per. So he was a solid contributor to a San Antonio Spurs team. And on this team with the Lakers, he's going to be just a role guy, right? He's not going to be the second or third guy like he was on the San Antonio Spurs. He's going to be a guy that they expect to come out and be a spark, a guy, whether he starts, comes off the bench, could be a solid contributor. And so it brings many to wonder, can he be our sort of Malik Monk? Because there are a lot of similarities, right? This is in many ways like Malik's Monk deal was a prove-it deal, right? He wants to establish himself in the market for a future deal and a future payday. And so therefore, there's going to be a lot of incentive for Lonnie Walker to come out and really perform. And just like Malik Monk was the same thing. They signed him on a vet minimum. Everyone was like, what? Because we got Kendrick Nunn, we got him on the taxpayer, and it's like, okay, well, that was a great pickup. And then next thing you know, Malik Monk, and it was like, what is going on here? And it was huge news. It was huge excitement. And Malik Monk was that microwave type player. He could just get a bunch of points in a hurry. He was arguably one of the big bright spots for the Lakers last season and one of their more consistent players as far as scoring wise goes. But he was a defensive liability. He didn't have size. He didn't have the length, things like that, where Lonnie Walker has that. And Malik Monk was a solid player prior, right? Charlotte Hornets, all that stuff. But he wasn't the guy that we saw last year, and it led him to get a deal with the Kings. It turned out to be a good payday for him. Just like how Lonnie Walker was 23 when he signed with the Lakers, so was Malik Monk. So you get that young, athletic player that can do a little bit of everything. But I think Lonnie Walker provides a lot more than Malik Monk. As great as Malik Monk was for us, Lonnie Walker has more length, more size, a little better skill set, in my opinion, overall. Now, you can make an argument Malik Monk is the overall better scorer, but scoring isn't everything. And the Lakers didn't have a problem scoring last year. It was stopping other teams, stopping other players. There is concerns with Lonnie Walker in his three-point shooting, but there was some of those concerns with Malik Monk. He had some down years. He had some years where he was inconsistent, took some bad shots, and that's what people were worried about when it came to the Lakers and Malik Monk. But he really sort of capitalized on the opportunity to be able to be a guy next to LeBron, next to Westbrook, next to Anthony Davis, and was able to really shine. And so when it comes to Lonnie Walker, that's the hope. Lonnie Walker had some really good games. And as much as people are concerned with his three-point shooting, he has a 34 to 35% three-point rate, which is league average. So he shoots league average currently, but he had 2 years, one which he had 38% from three, and 1 year where he shot just under 41% from three. Now, granted, those were smaller sample sizes. His rookie year, 2018-2019, he shot 38%. Didn't start a lot of games. He only got like 7 minutes a game, so he wasn't out there a ton. He wasn't jacking up, 10 threes a game. Same thing with the second year in 2019-2020. He started 12 games, and his starting role went up to 16 minutes. So that was a pretty good sample size, right? That's probably what he's going to play with the Lakers, somewhere around 16 to 20 minutes. And he was able to put up 12 points a game, like I said, with the Spurs last year. But if he can just be a solid, we don't need him to necessarily be a 40% three-point shooter. If he can be, then fantastic, right? If he could be a 40% knockdown three-point shooter, then that is a huge bonus, especially if he can play solid defense. Again, 6'10 wingspan, 6'4 height. So he's a guy that can stay and keep in front of the defending guard, stuff like that. So he could be a real contributor on this team. But the fact that you have guys like LeBron and Westbrook, or, if they go get Kyrie or whatever ends up happening, but if they have LeBron, Westbrook, Anthony Davis, or just LeBron and Anthony Davis, he's going to benefit tremendously because he's going to get looks that he's never gotten before because LeBron's going to be able to get those looks for him. He's also not going to have the attention that he would on the San Antonio Spurs. So he's going to have a lot more freedom and be able to create a lot more. He's a guy that can put the ball on the court, get to the rim, get easy buckets. He can generate offense. He's not the greatest distributor, but depending on what the offense is and it implements, he could be a guy that could really, maybe up his assist percentage and stuff. But he's going to be a guy just like Malik Monk where we need him to do one thing. Come in, play some solid defense, which Malik Monk wasn't able to do. He's just an undersized guard, which is understandable. But Lonnie Walker isn't that guy. He has the size. So the Lakers are going to want him to come in, play some solid defense, knock down the open shots. If he could get, because again, 34% career average. Last year he only shot 31% from three, but he was more of a focal point, played as many minutes, if not more, than he played the previous years. So he was more of a focal point on the offensive end, which in return gave bigger scoring games. He had some solid scoring games, but overall, it's the fact that he can knock down outside at a league average clip. If he can just elevate that just slightly. He doesn't have to shoot 40%. If he's 34, 35%, if he could go from that to like 36, 37%, right? Then that means he's at least respectable. And I'd rather have a guy that could shoot 36%, 37% and stop the guy in front of him than a guy that shoots 40% and can't play any defense. I would rather have somebody like that can get to the hoop, that can create his own shot, maybe create a little bit for others. He's still very young. He's still very athletic. He's going to have a lot of bright spots next season, I think, with the Lakers. It's always possible with youth and stuff like that. He could have a lot of not so bright spots, but I do think he has an opportunity to really start on this Lakers team. Whether it's Westbrook or it's Kyrie or whoever, I think that he's a guy, again, with the size and everything, he could easily slot into the 2 spot and guard other 2s, maybe even some 3s, and especially point guards and stuff. So, so say we're playing against like the Steph Currys of the world. You put Lonnie Walker on Steph and let, Westbrook guard like Klay Thompson or something like that, and you could kind of have those lineups. The Lakers are going to start whichever player is the most consistent on the defensive end, the most consistent knockdown three-point shooter, and a combination. Now, look, if one player shoots a better three-point percentage but isn't good defensively, then he's probably not going to start. If one player is better defensively but can't knock down the three-point shot, then he's probably not going to start. Darvin Ham is going to want to start who is the best at both. Doesn't mean necessarily the best three-point shooter or the best defender, but who is the best at doing both simultaneously. And I think Lonnie Walker could be that guy. I think he could earn a starting position. He's young, he's athletic, he's going to be hungry, he's going to want to come out and prove that, like, hey, look, I'm not just some dude, I'm worthy of a contract, because he's going to want a big payday, whether it's from the Lakers or it's another team. He's going to want to come out and really establish himself and show, like, hey, I'm here. I am a player that you can count on. You can add to your team. That's going to be a huge plus, a huge benefit. And I think he could be that guy. I think he could be our bright spot, our sort of Malik Monk on this season, that where he just kind of comes out of left field and it's like, wow, okay, like we knew he was good, but he's doing some solid work. If he can play some solid defense and play within the team defensive schemes that Darvin Ham's going to have set up and run the offense and knock down three-point shots and kind of be that third or fourth guy for the Lakers, because the Lakers are going to need that. We don't need him to score 20 a game. I mean, if he can, great. But if he can just get, if he can give us what he did last year, 12 points but on a better efficiency, because he shot overall from the field about 40 to 41%. If he could bump that up to like 42 to 43% overall. I know that's not the best numbers in the world that you want to hear, but he's a guard that is going to be taking shots. He's going to have shots at the end of the buzzer. He's going to be trying to create and get to the hoop and stuff. He's not just going to be solely a spot-up shooter, just like Malik Monk. He wasn't shooting 50% from the field and stuff like that. So if he could bump it up to like 42, 43%, and part of that is his three-point percentage going up to like, 36, 37%, because he's going to get open looks unlike he's ever had before, and he's going to be put in opportunities. LeBron's going to find out where's your best spot, where do you like to shoot from the most, and is going to give him the ball beautifully in the shooter pocket, and he's just going to be able to elevate, catch, and shoot. If he can get back to being that, like elite level almost three-point shooter, then that is a home run. But if you can just be above league average, just slightly above league average, then I think that's great. I mean, even if he is league average, I still think it's not the end of the world. 35%, he's shooting league average. You still have to respect that. You still have to put a hand up. You still got to close out on him, which is what you need. But if he can elevate his game just even slightly and be more, and just give us 12 a game. I don't need you to give me 20 or 30. Just go out there, give me like 12 points a game on a better efficiency, knock down on a better three-point efficient rate, play some solid defense, stop the guy that's in front of you, then I think that is a huge win. And I think that he could be a real bright spot for the Lakers this upcoming season. But those are my thoughts and opinions. And as always, pass the question on to you. Let me know yours down in the comment section below. What do you think of Lonnie Walker and the Lakers this upcoming season? Do you think he's the guy that, he could be our starting guy? He could be, a real contributor on this team. He's a guy that can knock it down, that can create his own shots, can get to the basket, do a little bit of everything. I do think he offers more than Malik Monk. Like, as much as we all loved Malik Monk last year, he was just solely a scorer. Like, he was a guy that could come out, get us, 15 to 20 a night, maybe have a big game here and there where he gets like 25 to 30. But in reality, all you were looking for from him was just scoring. Where I think Lonnie Walker, he can provide scoring, he can provide defense, he can provide all that stuff. And I think he's young enough to where he's going to be hungry, he's going to be able to be energetic, be athletic, and just kind of be himself on this team. And he's going to get in positions unlike he's ever had before. He's going to be put in positions that he's never gotten to experience with the Spurs, which I think is going to be hugely beneficial for him. But again, however you feel about it, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.